joining me to discuss all of that are Labour's Oliver Ryan, who represents the people of Burnley, Aphra Brandreth, the Conservative MP for Chester South and Eddisbury, and for Reform UK we have Dan Barker, who faced off against Andy Burnham in the last Greater Manchester mayoral election. Thank you all very much for coming on the programme. First up, of course, in just 2 weeks, voters across the Makerfield constituency in Wigan will go to the polls in what must be one of the most watched by-elections in political history. The vote was triggered in the middle of last month when Labour MP Josh Simons resigned his seat in the House of Commons, could potentially clear the way for Andy Burnham to return to Parliament and take a shot at the top job. Alternatively, it's a chance for the other parties to land a major political blow. 14 candidates in total are standing in the seat. Here they are, listed in alphabetical order, and voters have until the 18th of June to make up their minds, with polls closing at 10 p.m. Well, let's first hear from our panel about why they think their party should get people's votes. We'll give each of you around a minute to make your case. Oliver.
So I know this has been a contentious by-election, everything from Andy being an Everton fan to Andy's running shorts, but this is really important. Andy Burnham is the man that has lived there for 25 years, sent his kids to local schools, the man that, as Mayor of Greater Manchester, has sorted out the buses, has added extra investment to housing and high streets and police forces. This is a guy that wants to deliver for the Makerfield area and will do an incredible job at being a great local representative.
And Aphra, why should people pick the Conservative Party on the 18th of June?
Well, this election should be about the people of Makerfield. It shouldn't be about Andy Burnham's ambitions or Nigel Farage's ego. Michael Winstanley was born and brought up in Makerfield. He's a former Wigan mayor. He has been a local councillor for something like 16 years. So he's got a long track record of serving his community. And he's got a real plan to focus on the local issues, from revitalising high streets to dealing with congestion to dealing with crime and antisocial behaviour. And he'll also be part of a strong Conservative team led by Kemi Badenoch, who are the only party who have got a plan for a stronger economy and a stronger country.
And Dan, why should voters pick Reform UK?
Well, let's be clear, this is a two-horse race between Labour and Reform, and a vote for anyone other than Reform is a vote for Labour. The difference between these two main candidates couldn't be starker. On the one hand, you've got Andy Burnham, cynically and calculating, using the people of Makerfield to further his own political ambitions, trying to save this Labour government that is destroying itself and the country. And on the other hand, you've got Reform's Rob Kenyon, who's a local man, a councillor, a plumber, and a veteran who has stepped up for his community in this David versus Goliath contest. Rob is someone who believes that Makerfield and her people should come first. I think he will be an excellent local champion and voice and will make a brilliant MP.
Well, now let's hear from Hazel Grove MP Lisa Smart on why she thinks voters should choose the Liberal Democrats.
I'm really proud of Jake Austin. I know Jake well. I think he would make a fantastic Member of Parliament for the people of the Makerfield constituency. He's talking about the issues that people tell us they really care about. Lots of people don't want to be part of a national conversation about divisive politics on one side and a divided, distracted Labour Party on the other side. Jake's talking about wanting to revitalise our high streets. He's talking about wanting to improve public transport across the North West. He's really focused on getting the genuinely affordable housing built across our area that our young people need.
And here is our country's most recent by-election victor, Gorton Denton MP Hannah Spencer, on why she wants voters to go green.
On the one hand, we're potentially looking at, could this lead to a change in Prime Minister? But the people in Makerfield really are choosing who they want as their MP. And I'm really, really clear that our candidate, Sarah, is not doing this as a stepping stone. She's doing it because she really believes that people in Makerfield should be able to vote for someone who is going to work hard for them. And she works so hard, and she really believes that tackling inequality is within reach, but we need the right people in the right places to do it. People are really clear, and they told us in Gorton and Denton that the old political system has failed too many people.
So everyone in the studios had the chance to make their pitch, but the stakes of this undoubtedly go well beyond choosing just one MP. So let's talk about those. Dan, if Andy Burnham wins, it will in all likelihood end up with a challenge on Keir Starmer. Is there no part of you that really wants to see that happen?
Well, I think that actually the danger with Andy Burnham winning is that he might temporarily revive Labour's fortunes, but the basic fundamentals will not change. There's no money left. They haven't got any solutions to the big problems that face the country right now. And he is a PM, potentially, that would go further to the left on things like benefits, immigration, and on all the woke. He's pretty woke if you analyse the things he said.
When you think about this, though, people say that he's using it as a stepping stone, but it's because he wants to change the status quo. Isn't that exactly why Nigel Farage stood in Clacton, for example?
I think the big difference here with Andy Burnham is he's already elected as the Mayor of Greater Manchester. He's never hidden his ambitions to be Prime Minister, and now this is his opportunity, and he's taking it. And I think we've got to look at it for what it is, a cynical move to try and further his own political ambitions.
I'm sure you would disagree with that, Ollie. I mean, it is clear he is a very popular politician. Are you worried that you play your trump card and then he loses?
No, look, I mean, there's always risk with by-elections. I think the risk for Labour is obviously that we lose a seat. The risk for people like Reform is that their vote bleeds massively to people like Restore and Rupert Lowe, right? These things are just always kind of jeopardy situations. But I genuinely think Andy will make the best local MP for Makerfield. As I say, he's lived there, sent his kids to school there. This is a guy that really cares and actually used to represent part of the constituency when it was in the old Lee constituency. So it's in his bones. And I think that's why he wants to be the MP. If
he wins, though, is there any chance that Keir Starmer stays on as Prime Minister?
Yes, I mean, Andy's made lots of statements, lots of MPs make lots of statements, but at the end of the day, Keir Starmer is the Prime Minister. We're not in a leadership contest scenario, and this is a government that's delivered things like renters' rights, workers' rights, more money for councils, more money for strategic transport, waiting lists going down to the lowest level for 17 years, and all of that is put at risk by a potential Reform government coming in and scrapping all of it.
Aphra, the Conservatives were once the main opposition in this seat, and now we've got 14 candidates. Do you think the days of just these red-blue battlegrounds are gone from the North West forever?
I mean, we're certainly seeing a change, and, you know, it's good that people have a broad choice. I would continue to say that actually it's important to see what Conservatives have to offer, because we are putting forward a strong opposition. And in fact, we've seen this Labour government U-turn, I think, over 20 times now. And that is because the Conservatives and under Kemi Badenoch have really pushed them and held them to account. So it's important that people have a choice, but they also know that the Conservatives are there and we're there to win.
This is the third by-election we're seeing in the North West in 12 months. Dan, how does it look from up in the North West? Have we all got a bit addicted to the Westminster drama?
I think, well, certainly if you're into politics, it's certainly never dull up there. But I think, you know, in terms of reform, you know, we see every contest like this as a massive opportunity for us. We're hungry for every seat. And every time we do a by-election, our machine gets a lot slicker, a lot smarter. You can see it already in the group here, the way they've approached this election. It's just everything's a lot more, you know, confident and assured.
Oliver, Graham Stringer says that if Andy Burnham loses, it could be an extinction moment for the party. Does it feel like that at all? And are you worried that he could be right?
No, I don't think so. But as I say, by-elections have lots of risk for all parties involved. I think Andy Burnham is a great candidate and will be a great local MP, touch wood, for the area. I think this is a man that speaks to people in Makerfield, that talks about the changes he wants to see in politics and has some big ideas about what he's done in Greater Manchester and bringing some of that to the wider country. I think that's what you want in an ambitious local MP. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, you can hear more from all the candidates by heading to itv.com. As a reminder, there are 14 standing in this election. Here they are. You can find out more at itv.com/Granada. Polls open across the constituency at 7 a.m. on the 18th of June. And don't forget, you will need to bring an accepted form of photo ID in order to cast your vote.